Well, I think Doug has done some good things since coming in, restructuring the way the schools get paid out of the permanent land trust fund. That was well done. He did do a 5-year plan. I've gone through the 5-year plan. I've looked at that, and it's not clear how much of that's actually been executed and what's remaining to be done, as well as some things they've obviously have done. They have clearly they've improved on the investment side, some of the tools they use there. They've also installed a new accounting system internally, but the big news is that the state's changing out its accounting system next year. So that'll happen in literally July of 2015. And so having put in the state's last accounting system in 1982, you have to reconcile between the treasurer system and the state system in order to make sure everything is in balance, because you're processing $30 billion of expenditures and receipts. So that has to all be synced together. So that's going to be done, and once that's done, then I think that kind of opens the door to begin to automate some other things within the treasurer's office and eliminating paper, basically. Getting rid of paper transactions and getting it down to electronic transactions, transfers and things like that, which would speed up the operations. And that's really important because the Department of Revenue is now going to be collecting a lot of the sales taxes on behalf of the municipalities and counties around the state. So obviously you want to process those funds as quickly as you can and then move the money to whichever municipality that's owed to. So that's going to take some effort to get all that processed and working correctly on that side. The other thing that I would do is they did an asset allocation study, which was very interesting to read. I wouldn't have followed very much of what was in it because they were actually advocating investing money into emerging markets, which I understand that they have a little bit more growth, but then you have a lot more risk too. I mean, how would you like to be investing money in Russia right now, for instance? Russian company, or you wouldn't want to do that. Okay, so you have to always think in terms of safety first of the funds that matter, and then liquidity, and then return. So I think that there should be another asset allocation study done. I think that should be something they do every 3 years or so, or thereabouts. Or actually, that's going to be driven by the market too. I say every 2 to 3 years, but it would be driven by the market. If there were substantial changes in the marketplace, then you'd want to do another asset allocation study to make sure that you're focused on what you should be doing with the funds.